You were standing outside a tall glass building, clutching your bag nervously. It was a bright morning in Seoul, and you were mentally rehearsing your introduction. Just be confident. You can do this. It's just a job interview. What's the worst that could happen? You muttered to yourself, adjusted your blazer, and pushed open the glass door, stepping into the lobby. Good morning, how can I help you? The receptionist greeted you smiling. You forced a smile. Hi, I'm here for the assistant position interview. The receptionist checked the schedule and looked at you. Ah, Mr. John's secretary position. You are brave. You furrowed your brows, wondering what that's supposed to mean. Take the elevator to the top floor. Good luck, you'll need it. You walked away, giving her a confused look. You took a deep breath and stepped into the elevator. Your heart was racing as you reached the 12th floor. The office was sleek and modern. A young man with soft brown hair was sitting behind the desk, tapping on his laptop. He looked up at you with sharp dark eyes, cold and intimidating. Sit. He spoke without even looking at you. You awkwardly sat down in the chair in front of him. Resume? He asked, still focused on his laptop. You hurriedly took out your resume and placed it on his desk. You studied business administration? He asked, glancing at the paper. You hesitated. Yes. You worked at Folk? He asked again, narrowing his eyes while you smiled nervously. Yes, for a little while. In truth, you had only done an internship for 2 weeks. Why did you leave? He said, sitting back, finally giving you his full attention while you tried your best to sound confident. I wanted something more challenging. Jungkook watched you for a moment. His gaze was sharp and then he leaned forward. This job requires discipline, punctuality, and loyalty. Can you handle that? You quickly nodded. Of course. We'll see. Start tomorrow 8 a.m. sharp. He said, standing up. Your eyes widened. I got the job? Jungkook walked towards the door. Unless you already want to quit. You quickly shook your head. No, I'll be here. He walked out without another word. You sat there stunned. Did that really just happen? You said to yourself, not believing. You never thought you'll feel like you have been working here for years on your first day. As soon as you came, Jungkook was ready with pile of files and so much work. He was merciless and didn't let you settle properly. Within a few hours, you were exhausted. You walked into the office balancing a coffee tray in one hand and your phone in the other. Hana, a fellow secretary with sharp cheekbones and a mischievous smile, approached. You survived the interview. Impressive. Should I be worried? You said, looking at her. Mr. John Jungkook has gone through 5 secretaries in the past 6 months. Before you could respond, Jungkook's door swings open. He stepped out of his office. Wine, he said in a cold voice while you tried to be sweet. Yes, sir. Where's my coffee? He said, noticing only one cup, that too a milk coffee that he doesn't like. Did you order one? It's implied. He sighed, forcing a smile. My bad. What would you like? Black, no sugar, no milk. Charming. Jungkook's gaze sharpened. Warning, watch your tone. You rolled your eyes and walked away. Later, you were at your desk with Hana and one more colleague named Taeyong. He was charming and mischievous, clearly enjoying your frustration. How is it going with the devil? You groan. He's impossible. He speaks in single syllables and looks at me like he's deciding how to fire me. Hana laughed. Welcome to hell. Come on, guys, he's not that bad. You glared at him. He's awful, cold, rude, not to mention emotionally unavailable. I bet if you cut him open, he would bleed eyes. And he's so demanding. He wanted coffee, but he didn't even ask. Just stood there looking at me like I was supposed to read his mind. Did you get him the coffee? Taeyong asked, laughing slightly while you sighed. Yes, but that's not the point. Yesterday he made me redo a report 5 times. 5 times for a single missing comma. Perfectionist, he said teasingly while you rolled your eyes. Control freak, I would say. You sure you'll survive? Not sure. If I disappear mysteriously, you know where to start looking. Just then, someone behind you cleared their throat. You froze and turned slowly, only to find Jungkook standing there looking directly at you. If you have this much free time to gossip, I assume your work is done. I was just taking a small break. Taeyong and Hana quickly started doing their work. Get back to work, he said coldly and walked away. You sat there horrified. He's going to fire me. Oh no, he's enjoying watching you suffer, he whispered, laughing. You were seated at your desk typing up an email when Jungkook's voice pierced through the glass walls. YN, you sighed and walked in, arms crossed. Yes, where's the contract I asked for? On your desk since 10 minutes ago. Jungkook glared at you. Then why am I holding the wrong contract? Because you picked up the wrong file. Watch your tone, he said, glaring at you while you smiled mockingly. Sure, boss. Shall I print it again and personally hand it to you with a red ribbon? Jungkook stepped closer to you. Do you always have this much attitude? Only when it's deserved, he said without any fear. Jungkook's jaw clenched, but you see the corner of his mouth twitch, almost a smile. Careful, Mayan. You might think you're amusing, but you're replaceable. You leaned towards him with a fake smile. Good luck finding someone who'll tolerate you. You turned and walked away before he could respond. You stepped into the elevator just as the doors were about to close. Jungkook followed, standing next to you in silence. Do you always talk back to your superiors? He said without looking at you. Do you always treat your employees like they owe you their lives? I expect efficiency. You work for me. You're not here to be my friend. You rolled your eyes. Trust me, the feeling is mutual. The elevator suddenly jerked to a stop and lights flickered. You panicked and looked at him. What's happening? It's stuck, he said, pressing the emergency button. You clutched the railing. Great, just great. Don't tell me you're scared. I'm not scared, just annoyed that I'm stuck with you of all people. Jungkook arched a brow. The feeling is mutual. Silence hung in the air as you both stood there. You could at least try being nice once in a while. And why would I do that? Because you might actually discover you're not as miserable as you pretend to be. Jungkook's eyes narrowed. Before he could reply, the elevator suddenly jerked back to life. You were at a company event, wearing a sleek black dress. Jungkook was standing nearby talking to some investors. Jungkook, isn't this your new secretary? Jungkook's gaze shifted towards you. Yes, unfortunately. Unfortunately, you said, raising an eyebrow. The investor laughed as this was the first time he was seeing such a bold secretary who can actually talk back to Jungkook. You two seem close. She's irritating and you are unbearable. Investor laughed harder. Sounds like a perfect match. Not in this lifetime. You took a sip of your drink, ignoring the way his gaze lingered on you. The next morning, you were at your desk typing. Jungkook entered the office. Good morning, he said calmly, but you didn't respond. He glanced at you. Did you hear me? You kept typing. I said good morning. Morning, he said without looking at him. Jungkook's eyes narrowed. A few minutes later, he approached your desk again. I need you to review these files. I'll forward it to Taeyong. He said without any emotions, making him frown. No, I want you to handle it. You didn't say anything and put the file on the other side, hoping he would leave, but he didn't. Are you not feeling well today? I'm perfectly fine, you said, keeping your eyes on the laptop. Then why are you behaving like this? Excuse me, I need to get some papers. You interfered by standing up and walked away. Jungkook's hands clenched as he couldn't bear this ignorance. From the morning you pretended like he doesn't exist. Later that day, you were sitting with Taeyong in the break room. Are you not talking to Jungkook? He's been going crazy and yelling at everyone because you're not giving him attention. Did something happen last night at the event? Did you and Jungkook fight? You rolled your eyes. We are not fighting. I'm just done. Sure. Jungkook suddenly appeared at the doorway. Taeyong? Yes, Hyung. You looked away when he came inside. He looked at Taeyong. Leave. But I was just now. Taeyong winked at you and left. Did you need something? You said annoyingly. What's going on with you? Nothing, you said, avoiding him again, while he stepped closer. Don't lie. You finally looked at him. Why would you suddenly care? Because you have been ignoring me all day. You raised an eyebrow. So what? Isn't it good for you that I'm not talking? I'm irritating anyways, and also replaceable. He sighed. I didn't mean it. Then why did you say it? Because you frustrated me. Oh, I'm sorry for existing, you said in a bit anger. Jungkook leaned in. You think I can replace you? You glared at him. Yes. Jungkook suddenly grabbed your chin. Watch your mouth. Your breath hitched. Because the idea of you leaving drives me insane. Your eyes widened. Now stop ignoring me. He released your chin and stepped back. Get back to work. You stood there, heart racing. Jungkook walked away, looking far too satisfied. What the hell just happened? You muttered to yourself. The next morning, you walked into the office fully expecting Jungkook to be cold and distant again, but instead, Jungkook was leaning against his desk, arms crossed, watching you with an amused smirk. Morning, sweetheart, he said softly while your eyes widened. Did you just call me sweetheart? Jungkook's smile deepened. Should I not? You glanced around. Several employees were already whispering to each other. Their eyes were wide. Did he just call her sweetheart? Since when does Mr. Jones smile at anyone? You narrowed your eyes. Are you feeling okay? Never better, he said with a grin while you eyed him suspiciously. Alright, I'll be at my desk. You turned to leave, but Jungkook caught your hand. No kiss? Your mouth dropped open. Excuse me? You said, looking at him in disbelief while he smirked. You heard me. The entire office went dead silent. Oh my god, you yanked your hand away, your face was burning. Have you lost your mind? Possibly. You stormed to your desk, ignoring the stares. Jungkook watched you with a satisfied smile. During lunch, you were sitting in the break room with Taeyong. So, what's going on with you and Jungkook? Trust me, even I'm confused. He laughed. Sure, that's why he's acting like a lovesick teenager. He's just teasing me. Taeyong raised his eyebrow. Teasing? He literally called you sweetheart in front of the whole office. Just then Jungkook entered the break room. What are you two talking about? You, he said, smirking. Jungkook walked over and sat beside you. Good things, I hope. Sure, you're not going to tell me? No, you said flatly. Jungkook leaned in, his lips brushed against your ear. That's fine, I have other ways of making you talk. You stiffened. Did you just flirt? Taeyong asked. Jungkook shrugged, smirking. Maybe. You glared at him as your face was burning. Jungkook stood and headed towards the door. Finish your lunch, sweetheart. Taeyong burst out laughing as you covered your face. That evening, Jungkook drove you home. Are you still mad at me? I'm not talking to you. Jungkook pulled over in front of your building. Then let me try something else. You glanced at him. Try what? Jungkook suddenly leaned in, his hand cupping your cheek. This. Before you could react, his lips met yours. Your eyes widened, but you quickly melted into the kiss. When he pulled back, you were breathless. You can't just kiss me to win an argument. Worked, didn't it? He said, smirking while you glared at him. You're impossible, but you like me anyway. You blushed, unfortunately. Say it. No, come on, Ryan, say it. Good night. You get out of the car and headed towards your apartment. I'll pick you up tomorrow morning, he called out. We'll see, you said without looking back. Jungkook chuckled, watching you disappear inside. You were sitting on your couch, scrolling through your phone when your phone started ringing. You saw Jungkook's name on the screen and groaned. You again? Yes, me again. You sighed but couldn't stop the smile. What now? Are you calling to give me more orders? Listen to me this once, Wine, please. You sat up surprised. Did you just say please? Yes, now open your door. You could feel him smiling through the phone. What? You asked, confused. Just open it. You hesitantly got up and opened the door. A delivery guy was standing there holding several large boxes. "These are for you, ma'am," he said politely. "For me?" You took the boxes inside and set them on your couch. Jungkook was still on the phone. "What is this, Jungkook?" "Open them." You opened the first box. Inside was an elegant black evening dress. Your eyes widened. You looked at it stunned. "Jungkook, what is this?" "It should definitely be a dress, obviously." You open the next box, heels, the next one a diamond necklace. You narrowed your eyes. "Are you trying to bribe me?" He laughed. "No, I'm taking you out." Your heart skipped a beat, butterflies already caught fire in your stomach. "I'm not going anywhere." "Yes, you are. And if I refuse, then I'll come up and dress you myself." Your mouth dropped open. "You wouldn't dare. Try me." There was silence for some seconds before you whispered, "You are impossible. And yet you can't seem to stay away from me." You sighed in defeat. "Fine, but I'm not wearing the necklace." "Why not?" "Because it's too much." "You are too much." You rolled your eyes. "What time?" "I'll be there in an hour." "What if I'm not ready?" "I'll wait." You huffed and hung up. Jungkook smiled to himself as he put his phone down. An hour later, you were standing in front of the mirror wearing the dress. It fit perfectly. You heard the doorbell ring and opened it. Jungkook stood there in a black suit looking devastatingly handsome. His eyes slowly swept over you. "Perfect. It's just a dress." You were feeling a bit awkward. He stepped closer. "No, it's you." You looked away, feeling your heart race. "The necklace?" I said no. Jungkook held up the necklace. "Turn around." "Jungkook." You hesitated. "Turn around." You sighed and turned your back to him. Jungkook's fingers brushed against your neck as he fastened the necklace. "Perfect." You closed your eyes at the feeling of his touch. "Now let's go," he whispered against your ear. You open your eyes, cheeks flushed. "Okay." Jungkook smiled and offered you his arm. "Shall we?" You took his arm, feeling your heart thud painfully against your chest. Jungkook led you out the door. His hand rested lightly on the small of your back.